Hey, what's up everybody? Tone Weaver Music here. Today we're going to be talking about the daily practice routine. This is going to be for guitar. Now this is just a daily routine that should be followed, right? Now this is to get the most progress and value out of your lessons. You could always put extra practice on top, of course, but I do really feel that these are the essentials that must be done every day, right? Now everyone is different, so you might not have everything on this list, and that is okay. You will eventually get everything on this list. And you know, some people might just have one song, they might have 3 songs, things like that, right? But yeah, let's go on ahead and get into the very first thing, which is going to be note naming. So for note naming, the general rule again is going up in pitch, you're going to use sharps. Going down in pitch, you're going to use flats. Now again, this is for note naming purposes. Songs are a little bit different. The key signature will let you know on that. All right, so yeah, for our instrument guidelines right here for guitar, you're going to be choosing 1 string per day, and you're going to name the notes on that string, right? So let's go on ahead and take a little look at a handout that can help you to do so. This is the handout that'll help you to go on ahead and name those notes. This is going to be your standard tuning. This is all of your open strings here. So you got a high E string, then you got your B string, G, D, A, and then E, right? That's your low E string there. So again, you're going to be choosing 1 string per day to do. So say, for example, we do G. So we go through on G there, we go G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, right? And so on. Now, when we are coming back, though, we want to go on ahead and use flats. So, for example, C, B, B flat, A flat, G. And if you notice here on this handout, when we are coming from the blue, the sharp is going to be also blue, right? Because we're coming from G, so we're going to call it a G sharp. If we're coming from A, we'll call it an A flat, right? So that's the reason for going forward using sharps, going back using flats. All right, so let's go on ahead and take a look at this on the guitar as well. All right, so yeah, note naming practice on the guitar is going to go on ahead and look like this. We're going to choose 1 string. Let's today choose the G string. So on the G string, we're going to go on ahead and go through those notes. So we got open for G, then G sharp, and then we got A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G. Then we're going to go back down. We're going to do flats. We're going to start on G, then G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G. Right? So that would be our note naming practice, going up and then going back down. Next up on our daily practice routine is going to be scales practice. You're going to be choosing 1 scale per day. For example, C major, G major, D major. You know, you're going to have those choices available to you. You might not have every scale readily available to do so, but you're going to have enough, right? You're going to have 3 steps on this one. You're going to first go on ahead and play the scale while saying your finger numbers. Then the step number 2, you're going to play that same scale while saying your note names. And you're going to do step 3, you're going to play that scale again without saying anything else, right? If you need to say something in your head to help you, that's totally fine, right? You're going to repeat this 2 to 3 times. Now, each attempt you want to try to get a little bit faster, okay? So yeah, let's go on ahead and take a look at a handout that's going to help us to do so. All right, so this right here is going to go on ahead and be our scales, right? So we do have C major over here. That's what we're going to do. For C major, these are our note names here, right? So green is going to be the root note, right? The first note of the scale up to the next C, which would be 1 octave, right? And then you could see it on the pattern here too. So here's the green, and then we end on the green. This one would be the lower C note. This is the higher C note, right? So we went 1 octave. Now when doing these scales, it is best to start on the lowest note first, then go to the highest note. Now these do go in order, right? So we're always kind of reading things from the bottom string up this way. So this would be your 6th string, or that low E string, right? And then you got A string, D string, G string, B string, E string, right? Now, when we go in order, right, we start, at the bottom, we come up. This would be the first string that has a note on it. So we start there at 3. Then we go to our next string, and then we start way from at the left, and then move to the right. Then we go up a string, same thing, start at the left, move to the right. Go up a string, move from the left to the right. Then you want to go backwards in the scale. So then backwards in the scale, you're going to start here, then go to 0. So now it's going to be right to left, right? Right to left. Go down a string, right to left. And then right to left, right? Okay, so that is kind of how to read this. And then, of course, you want to go on ahead and say the finger numbers first. So you're going to say 3, open, 2, 3, open, 2, open, 1. And then reverse it, right? 1, open, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3. Okay? Now on this here, this is a C major scale. So for guitar, we do have quite a few different positions that we can play that C major scale in there. So the biggest thing here is to try to get through, at least maybe 3 of these, right, per day. And then choose the other 3 another day. Just as long as we're hitting on them and trying to get through them, right? Yeah, so next up, though, down here, just wanted to show this. This one right here is for creative purposes right here. So for this section here, it's not really a part of your practice routine, except for like the cool down, which is optional and allows you to just kind of, try to mess around with different notes, things like that. So we could like add 3 notes together like this right here, D, A, F. We can add 3 of those notes together and hit all 3 strings at the same time and see what it sounds like, right? Or we can go on ahead and go like something like this, D, F, A right here, right? So D, then play the F note, then play the A note, play this D note, then play this C note. You can mix and match, right? So that's kind of the way to get creative with this scale and to learn like a lot of different possibilities of what you can play. All right, so next up though, of course, within the scale, the step number 2 is going to go ahead and be saying the letter names. So this one right here would be your C note here. So that would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then of course you want to go backwards. That's step number 2. And then of course step number 3 again, you're just going to go on ahead and continue to play each one of these positions, and you're going to just try to attempt it to get faster and faster each time that you do it for those 2 to 3 attempts, right? So take this one for example, do that one 2 to 3 attempts, this one 2 to 3 attempts, and that one 2 to 3 attempts, right? All right, so yeah, let's go on ahead and take a look at that on the guitar as well. All right, so up next is going to go on ahead and be our scale practice. So with our scale practice, we're going to do that C major. We're going to do that first position on that page. We're going to start with our 3rd finger, right? We're going to do finger numbers first. So it's going to sound something like this. 3, open, 2, 3, open, 2, open, 1. 1, open, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3. Okay, and then we're going to do the letter names next. So next up, yep, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then back down, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Right? So again, that is exactly how we want to go on ahead and do these scales. Those would be the first 2 steps. Next step is just going to go on ahead and play it slow at first, and then go about 2 to 3 attempts, right? So... second attempt, try to get a little bit faster. All right, yep, that would be our scale practice there. All right, next up here is going to go on ahead and be song practice. So for song practice, you're going to choose 1 assigned song per day, right? Now, before playing any of your songs, it is a really good idea to go on ahead and say the note names of each note of that song, unless there's repeats, of course, right? You don't have to continuously repeat, 4 A's that are in a row, right? But it's just a good idea to kind of just, look through it. It'll start making you a little bit more comfortable and really start to already get those notes in your mind of what you're going to need to play. Now, for a lot of my beginner students, you're going to want to write the names under the notes. This is going to help with note reading practice, right? So if the notes are not written in, that is going to be you to do that, right? So writing those note names under the notes is only available for a short period of time though, and we will actually fade that out as we go on, right? But it's a really big helper, so definitely use it while you can. And then of course when you're playing these songs, you want to play them about 3 times. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and play smoothly up to a comfortable point of what you know, right? So if you only know up to the 4th measure, then you just go to the 4th measure, and then you're going to add just a little bit more though. You're going to try to attempt to learn just a couple more measures, right? And we'll take a look at that on a example here for us. Let's go on ahead and take a look at that. So here's a C to C song. Most of my students start out with the 2nd guitar right here, right? So again, what we would do is we would write some note names underneath here. That would be a C note there. We got a G note, A note, F note, G note, E note, F note, D note, right? And you'll just write those underneath those notes there, okay? And then of course, like I said, if you only know up to the 4th measure, right? We play up to the 4th measure here. We're gonna play that 2 to 3 times up, or sorry, 3 to 5 times. Sorry, playing it 3 to 5 times up to this measure here. And then you're going to attempt on each one of those times to add on just a little bit more, either like 1 measure or 2 measures, just to go on ahead and learn forward, right? We always want to try to progress, and that is going to be something that you want to look at doing, right? And it kind of helps with note reading purposes, of course, and just kind of problem solving, right? All right. Yeah, so with this song too, C to C, just kind of a little extra example on for the song C to C. The scale that's basically in that song is this guy right here. So this is also all of the finger numbers that you would use for that song. So that can help out as well. All right. So yeah, let's go on ahead and take a look at that on guitar and see how we do it on that. All right. All right, so next up is going to go ahead and be our song practice, right? So say again that I only know up to the 4th measure, right? So I'm going to go ahead and play up to the 4th measure. We're going to be doing C to C, right? So up to the 4th measure, we got... Right? So I know up to that point right there, so I'm going to be playing that 3 to 5 times, right? But on each one of those times, I'm going to try to just add on that next measure, right? So the next measure, I'm going to try to figure it out, right? If I don't know, I'm going to look at the notes and be like, yeah, it looks like I have a, what is that? First space there, okay. Oh, let me check. That should be an F note, perfect, right? And then I go down to a D note, and then up to an F note. Okay. I've played an F note before. F note is with my 3rd finger. Oh, and I also played a D note, which that's going to be open. Perfect. So now I have an idea of where I'm going to be at for that next part. So now I'm going to just go on ahead and play it. Right like that, right? And then of course, you're going to just add on as much as you feel comfortable with adding on, right? And that's going to help you get through songs much quicker, and you're going to go on ahead and really get to know these songs and get build some memorization on them as well, right? So yeah, that would be your song practice. Next up though, we are going to go on ahead and take a look at chord practice. So chord practice on guitar, you're going to be choosing 3 chords from your chord diagram handout. You're going to practice switching between them in sequence. So the big focus on this is going to be a 1-4-5 or a 2-5-1. We'll explain that. You're going to choose 1 key per day to do this in, and you're going to play the progression about 5 times. Now it is important that we pluck each string to make sure the sound is clean. If it's not clean, you could either press harder, adjust your finger a little bit, or reposition for clarity, okay? Let's take a look at a little bit of a handout there to help us through that. So here's our chord diagram right here. So we talked about a 1-4-5. So if we're in the key of C major, of course C major would be our 1. And then if we go from C, we got C, D, E, F. that would be our fourth. So here's F right here, right? So then that would be a good one to play. Then our next one is going to be the fifth, right? So if we start on C is 1, C is 1, D is 2, 3 is E, 4 is F, 5 is G. So there's our G major chord. So practicing switching in between these chords here would be excellent. The 2-5-1 would be a D minor to a G major back to a 1 to the C major, okay? So with that, those are some ones to go on ahead and focus on, but you don't have to stay with just those ones. You could do, say, for example, a 3, a 6, a 2, a 5, and then to a 1. You could definitely do that. You can go to a 3, 4, 5, 1, right? You can do a 2, 6, 7, 1, right? A lot of options. And each one of them are going to sound kind of different. So try them out. See what you can do, right? All right, so let's go on ahead and take a look at this on guitar as well. All right, and then yeah, next up here, we got chord practice. So on our chord practice, right, we're going to be choosing at least 3 chords out of that chord diagram. If you want to do more, you most certainly can. And you're just going to be switching in between those chords. Remember, again, 1-4-5s are super popular, also 2-5-1s. Those are really good ones to focus on, but there's plenty other ones as well, and they all have their unique sounds. So very first one, though, we could do 1-4-5, right? So we got C major, F major, and then G major. Back to a C major. So we can do that right there. Right? That's up to us, right? Next up here, let's go on ahead and do like a 3-6-2-5-1, right? So we got our 3, and then we got our 6, and then we got our 2, right? And then we got our 5, and then we got our 1. Pretty cool one there, right? And then what this is going to help us develop, it's going to help us develop our speed of transitioning between chords, right? And that helps out tremendously. We got to be pretty quick at moving chords, and this will also build up our muscle memory, right? So always really good to do that. Again, yeah, just go through 3 chords, choose any 3 that you want, and just play back and forth. Get a lot of practice on that. All right, yeah, that's going to be chord practice there. All right, next up in our daily practice routine is going to be rhythm practice. You're going to be choosing 2 rhythms per day from the rhythm worksheet. If the worksheet already has counts in it, you're going to go on ahead and practice by clapping them, or you can also use your instrument to do so, right? Now, if the worksheet does not have any counts, you're going to write the counts in first, but wait for teacher approval before practicing, right? Do not practice any rhythm labeled canon. All right, so a little something else on this as well. When they don't have the counts on there, you should be able to go through all of them and get the counts on pretty quickly. So that would not be a part of like the choose 2 rhythms. You're not going to choose 2 rhythms just to write the numbers in. The 2 rhythms are when you're actually practicing them. Okay. And little handout here to help us with that. Here is our unit 2. So any of our rhythm worksheets, you're going to see a unit up here, right? So those are ones we're looking at. We're going to be going through 1 through 17, right? And then avoiding the canons. So these canons here, we're not going to do those ones. We might do them down the road, of course, together, but that's exactly what a canon is. We'd be performing those together. All right. So yeah, with that being said, this is a blank rhythm sheet, so there is absolutely no numbers underneath the notes. That's going to be the counts. For example, on number 2, just to make it a little bit easier, we have a 3/4 time signature. We get 3 beats per measure. So that means that we're going to be getting the numbers 1, 2, 3 in each measure. So this will get 1, 2, 3. This will get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And our half note in this situation, since the bottom number is 4, that means that our quarter note, this guy, gets 1 beat, which will make this half note get 2 beats. So with this half note getting 2 beats, the half note will get the numbers 1, which goes directly under the note there, and then 2 kind of goes here in the middle, and then 3 would be here on the quarter note, because that only gets 1 beat. Then we start the next measure here, which would get 1, 2, 3. Then this one here, starting on 1, quarter note would get 1, the half note would get 2, and then 3 right here. We're going to be holding that half note for 2 and 3, right? And then this guy here is a dotted half note, so it gets 3 beats. It's a half note plus a quarter note together, right? So that would get a 1 right underneath it, and then 2, 3. Half note again gets 1, 2. This right here is a quarter rest. So that quarter rest right there is going to get just a third beat. It's still a part of the beat, but we're just not going to play anything on that beat, okay? One more example here. We got 4/4 time signature. Just real quick, 4 beats per measure. Quarter note so gets a beat. This would be 1, 2, then 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 here on the rest. Then we got 2, 3, 4. Half note gets 1, 2. This right here is a half rest, so it gets 3, 4, right? So that's a little example there on the rhythms. Of course, we'll be working with these, and we will be talking about all the different rests, all the different notes and stuff. So you will definitely know exactly how long to hold each one of these, right? All right, let's go on ahead and take a look at that on our instrument, as well as clapping a couple of these. All right, next up here is going to go on here and be some rhythm practice. So on that rhythm practice, we're going to do a number 2, maybe even number 3. But yeah, number 2, let's go on ahead and check at it with clapping, right? So on clapping, on number 2, we would have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. On the rest, what I normally do is I normally, make a fist and say hold. Some people like to put their hands out like this, right? Instead of clapping on those ones. Whatever feels comfortable to you to go on ahead and make sure that you're not clapping on a rest, right? So yeah, that would be number 3 or number 2. So on number 2 though, let's go ahead and play it on our instrument as well. So when you're playing these on your instrument, you could choose any note that you want to today. I'm going to just choose this G note here. So yeah, I'm going to do number 2 now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right there. All right. So that was B number 2, right? Let's go on ahead and take a look at number 3 as well, right? So number 3, 4/4 time signature sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that would be number 3. Let's hear it on the instrument as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it would be on the instrument right there. Now, on these ones, you can play them as slow as you want to or as fast as you want to, right? I may end up having you speed up, of course, when you're performing them, things like that. So yeah, that would be our rhythm practice. Next up here on our daily practice routine is just going to be a creative and fun practice, optional cool down. You're going to be experimenting with those scales just to create short melodies. You're going to combine notes out of the scale to form simple chords or patterns. And then, of course, just try improvising freely amongst these scales and chords, of course. This is going to build up creativity and musicianship. Highly recommended, for sure. Highly recommended. Here's some key reminders, of course, that you guys can go over. Final notes, also very highly encouraged. Put on a song that you really like. Turn up the volume on it. Not loud enough to where you cannot hear your instrument, but you're going to try to play along with your instrument. And you're going to just try to find notes that may sound like they fit in the song, right? And if you find one that's really cool and you feel pretty confident that you kind of have a good idea of what notes are sounding good, you can let me know of the song title, who sings it, and you can let me know what notes. We'll listen to it together. You'll let me know what notes sound good, and then we'll talk a little bit about it and see what we can find out about it, right? All right, so most importantly, of course, hey, we're looking at having fun. We're looking at building creativity, timing, which is our rhythm, and then, of course, confidence with our instruments. All right, so let's go on ahead and take a look at our creative and fun practice, though, on guitar as well. All right. All right. Finally, we are going to go on ahead and look at as well our optional cool down, right? So on our optional cool down, we're just going to be messing around with our scales. We're going to be combining notes, right? So in our C major scale, in that first position or open position, I can go on ahead and play a C, E, G. play together, right? I can play ACE, right? Then I could go on ahead and mix it up. I could play that chord maybe, and then let me go through a couple of notes. That's just an example of just being creative, right? So play what you want, right? Just kind of start to listen to things and how they react with one another. It's going to help out tremendously, build up some confidence for you, things like that. All right, that's our daily practice routine.